All right. It's about a little before 5 p.m. on Christmas Day 2024. Doing a little bit of a surprise live stream here. Hadn't planned on this, but I got an awesome new toy for Christmas, and I'm gonna go ahead and pop myself up nice and big here so I can show it off. And I don't think there's any green on this, so it shouldn't mess up too badly with the green screen. But I got the reissue of the wind up toy of the Wildwood, New Jersey Wildwood Beach Sightseer Tram. And it is pretty spectacular. I like it a lot. I have a very similar tram toy of the Disneyland parking tram, and I would like to display them together. They're very similarly sized. So I'm going to be modeling up a shelf that this can go on right below the Disneyland parking tram. I am going to open it for just a second here so that I can show you. It has this cool bit of functionality, a little button on the front that I love that. I love that it has a little audio, does some things. Hey, hey, Joey Nails, welcome, bud. Merry Christmas, man. Yeah, so I got this awesome replica of the Wildwood, New Jersey Sightseer tram, and I'm going to be modeling up a shelf to go with it. I actually just posted a picture over on Twitter and on Blue Sky that shows this tram compared to my Disneyland tram, and they are very similarly sized. And I'm gonna try to mock up a bit of a shelf that this can go on right below that, so they're kind of similar. Hey, Graves made it. Merry Christmas. That's right, Santa Perry. Very festive today. Where's a little yeah, there it is. Um, Last night when I was on the stream, I had thought a little bit better about the appearance and made it. Yeah, there we go, like that. Am I going to be at Limitless on the 12th? I believe I am. That's the plan right now. Um, but anyhow, all right, I'm going to go ahead and throw myself down in the corner here now that I've shown off the tram a little bit here. Um, and I'm going to start doing some design work here. I have a few things. I've grabbed some of the screws that I'm going to use to put it into the wall because I'm going to need measurements off of that. I have my micrometer, my calipers, as it were, and a couple measurements that I took off of the shelf that my Disneyland tram is on. Joey Nail stream cut for a sec. My plan is to be there on January 12th. That is currently the plan. I believe I'm going to be riding up with Johnny Torres, I think. Pretty sure. I would like to be there. I'd be. That's the one in Herman, right? That's the show in Herman, Maine. All right, hopping over into Tinkercad here. This is going to be the tram display shelf. This is going to be two shelves that are each going to go on one end of the box that the tram came in. One of the cool designs here is this box, and I'm going to bring myself up to the big. Hey, Bobby Gilbert's here on Christmas Day. Merry Christmas, buddy. Um, One of the cool things about the box that this comes in, if you look carefully, the cardboard it's on it's the boardwalk boards from the Wildwood, New Jersey boardwalk. So I want to keep it displayed on that. I think it's cool, and I even think the little domed hood that this comes in is very sort of mid-century modern, very googie. That's the design aesthetic that is prevalent in Wildwood, New Jersey. Um, so I might keep it in that, and it's a good way to keep dust off of it too. And I think it looks and displays nicely. And again, I mean, I can show just that easily. It just comes right off. So I can always just take it off when I want to pull it out and look at it more closely, or hit the button to make it make its little noises and light up. Um, all right, so to get started on this is going to be done in two pieces. And so what I want to do first, I'm gonna drag a cube out here, switch my view. Do I want the, nah, this view is okay. And I'm going to get some basic measurements on it now, and then we're going to start altering it so that it has the look we want. So the first thing is I know that the other shelf is 103 millimeters deep, and I have to compare that now to the actual toy here. So I'm just going to pull a measurement off of it real quick. The toy here sits at 83 millimeters deep. So I'm going to jot that down real quick. 83. All right. So what I'm going to do, and this is, I really like the way this has worked out here. We are, in fact, we're going to make this, the other one's 103. I'm going to say 105 millimeters deep. 2 millimeters is not a huge difference. And I think that they'll look pretty good together. And I like a little bit of extra because we're going to need it. And you'll see why in a little bit. And then the other ones are quite wide. But what I'm actually going to do, because this is a solid piece, I'm going to have a shelf that comes on one side and then a shelf that comes on the other and just let the center kind of hold itself up. So that's how this is going to work as two little shelves. I would do it as one big shelf, but because because there's only limited space on the print bed of my 3D printer, I can only print so much size. So I'm going to do it as two little shelves. If I decide that the look really requires the middle to be filled in, I can always make a center piece, and you'll see how that's going to work out as I go here. Um, all right, let me close that down. Okay. So we have our depth set. For the width, I'm going to go about 110 wide. And that is, again, just something that's going to fit well on the printer downstairs, something similar to the other shelves. Bobby Gilbert asks, "What did I get for Christmas?" Boy, it was pretty good. So other than this tram model that I'm currently building the shelf for, I also got a Tikiaki Orchestra record. I love tiki music. Tikiaki Orchestra is heavily featured at Trader Sam's in Disneyland and Disney World, as well as at the Polynesian Resort at Disney World. Really enjoy them. The album I got actually came with a T-shirt, which is a sick little tiki T-shirt. Listened to the whole album earlier. It's a beautiful transparent yellow vinyl, absolutely gorgeous. Looks great in the collection and plays beautifully. Um, let's see. So there was the tram, there was the record, and then I also got. Yeah, that's true. Graves, I saw some of the stuff you got. I saw you posted on Instagram. Really nice. Uh, but then I also got probably the big gift that I got is an original 1987 Migo 2XL robot. It's a children's educational toy robot that functions by using 8 tracks tapes. And it came with 7 of those, including some of the booklets that went with them, and it still functions. The eyes light up. It's very cool. I'm gonna have some videos and pictures of that going up on my socials soon, and it's gonna look fantastic. Here in the office, I have a couple droids that we built at Galaxy's Edge in Disney, as well as a DJ Rex from Disney as well. So they're the same scale as the 2XL robot, so I think they're gonna look beautiful together. As far as monster truck stuff, I only got one monster truck item, and it is, or I guess two technically. I got two different Gravedigger tree ornaments, and I will be posting pictures of that as well. All right, back to the design here. So we have our depth, we have our width, and now we just need to set the height. The height on this is going to be 43 millimeters. Okay, so now we have sort of this box here, right? And some of this will be chipped away for decoration, and then some of it is actually going to be made sort of hollow, and you're going to see how that's going to work here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hit Control D. Actually going to move my tram model out of the way for the moment so I can bring my keyboard over, have it in front of me while I work, keep everything I need to measure nearby. Guys, this was a very impromptu stream, so I'm a little bit all over the place, but we shouldn't have any real glitches or issues here. All right, got the keyboard, got the mouse where we need it, so I don't have to keep turning away from the screen. Bobby Gilbert, tell us about your monster trucks, because I know you got some good ones. I haven't seen pictures posted yet either. I haven't checked Twitter carefully, but I haven't seen pictures, and I expect pictures, my friend. I want to know, Joey Nails. You already told me privately what you got. If you're still in the chat, tell the crew what you got, because it's pretty exciting. All right, so I hit Control D already, I believe, and I'm going to bring this up. Yep, there we go. We're going to turn this into a negative, and now I need, this is going to be the sort of the hole that the box kind of sits down into so that it can't fall off. Um, so this needs to be 83 deep. So we need the front view. Got to click on this box. And I'm going to make this 85. Give it a little extra wiggle room. Never a bad idea. And now I'm gonna bring it forward quite a bit. We're going to leave a little shelf in the front there, a deeper shelf in the back, because in the back is where I'm going to add some pieces where we can have a screw go through to attach this to the wall. Sort of how this whole piece is going to function for us. I know you got a bunch of new monster trucks. You got a new controller for the Xbox. Hell yeah. Weapons for the action figures. All hey, you're speaking my language with the toy stuff, man. T-shirt plus you bought something for yourself. What'd you buy for yourself? I think you may have mentioned it previously, and I've forgotten now. All right, and we're going to bring it over a similar amount so that we can see. You see how that this is going to be very similar here. Let's go to the top. Let's switch our view. And yeah, we're just going to go right about there. That'll give us a good ledge on both sides, I think. That's going to look nice. Um, and with this, I am going to slightly radius this just a little bit, just a little. Just that little to soften the edges. In fact, that might even be a little too much. Yeah, I just want to soften those edges a little bit. Oh, that's right. You got the major bendums, and you still don't know which ones those are because they're sitting at your house and you're at your parents', right? All right. And so now I want to figure out about how deep I want this little ridge to go because I want to be able to see a lot of this because it does say, Wildwood, New Jersey, talking tram car. It says cool stuff. So I don't want all that hidden, but I do want it deep enough that it doesn't fall out. And I'm thinking, uh-oh. Yeah. My calipers are acting up again. It looks to me like about a 2 millimeter depth is going to be good. So that's what we're going to go with. So there's a very easy way to do that right now. I'm going to set this to be 3 millimeters tall. Ah, wrong one. All right, click that. I'm going to set this to be 3 millimeters tall. Oh, come on. What are we doing? There we go. Come on. Give me my three. Give me what I want. All right. And then I'm going to bring it, we're going to bring it up and bring it one click past the surface. And because right now it's moving in increments of 1 millimeter, I know that that's roughly 2 millimeters deep. You know what? I'm looking at it. I think we can probably go a little bit deeper. So I'm going to make this a little bit taller and I'm going to bring it down one more. And we're also going to radius this just a tiny bit. Just again, I'm just softening the edges here. Now you see how it sticks out the side? That is because the way the tram is going to fit in here, if the shelf you're looking at is right here, the tram is going to come off and keep going out one side. And I'm going to print one like this and then do one that's sort of the flip image of this. All right. So I'm going to leave that where it is for right now, just in case we decide we need to change it at all. And I'm going to, I want to sort of decorate this front side, and you're going to see what I'm talking about with that. And it's based on how my shelves look. Actually, I can show you how the shelf looks. This is what we're looking at here. These white shelves are what I'm more or less creating my own version of. You know what I mean? Not yet, Bobby. Graves comes to the shows that I do in Connecticut, and I'm gonna get her the grave digger there. I'm gonna hand it off in person. Graves and I talked about that. We discussed how I should go about getting it to her, and we decided she comes by the shows, easy enough to get it to her there. Um, so these shelves are more or less what I'm looking to create. They're going to be a little bit shorter, but this little sort of design at the front is kind of what I'm mimicking, and it's not going to be exact. I don't need it to be exact either. It's going to be sort of its own version of that. All right, dragging that back out of frame here. So what I need first is, yeah, I'm going to do this in like little rounds, I guess. Do I want it to be exact? Tough decisions. Sorry, dumb questions, but will the 3D printer I got work with my MacBook? Yes. Yes, it will. Um, doing a lot of like intense 3D design work, if you're doing like custom sculpting, requires something pretty powerful. Like I had to buy a special computer with like heavy graphics cards. But as far as like doing the basic print work, putting things into a Chitu box is the app that you'll be using. It comes on a little USB drive that came with your printer. That will absolutely run on your MacBook. I ran it on a pretty old MacBook Air some time ago, and it ran just fine. And if you're doing your little models, the ones sort of like what you've sent me, where they're already designed for you, easy peasy to import right into that program. If you run into any trouble with it, let me know. There's a million great YouTube videos that walk you through it. It's very easy. You've picked a very good first model of 3D printer to learn. There's a lot of process in it, but once you get the hang of it, it works pretty good. All right. So continuing on with my process here. Again, I'm not looking to make this identical to the other shelf. So we've got sort of the front here. I'm kind of doing a stylized version that's just going to be similar. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to bring in one of these cylinders. I'm going to move it to 90 degrees. And now this is where it becomes kind of like this is my own, I get to have my own idea of what I think looks good here. Let's go to that view, get dead on the right. I'm going to go ahead and make it nice and smooth. Now holding the shift, I'm going to make it pretty big, and I'm going to bring it back to the halfway point or thereabouts. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, I like that. All right, now I'm going to holding the shift, bring it over. I'm going to stretch it nice and long here. That looks good. All right, and now I'm going to hit Command D to make a copy of it. Turn it 90 degrees. Go to the front. Holding shift. Not that one, buddy. Holding shift. I'm going to bring it over till that center is just about right at the edge. It can be just past the edge. That's okay. And now that one I'm going to hit Command D. Get sort of a top angle here. And I'm going to drag it over. Same thing. Grab both of those. Back them up to, I'm going to say like right about, well, you know what? It can go all the way back. That's okay. All right. So now I'm ready to do my first little bit of chopping here. So I'm going to go ahead, select everything, everything except for that piece, and you'll see why. I'm going to group that. All right. We've got a good start here. Bring in another one of these. Back there where it should go. Bop it 90 degrees again. And I do kind of like the smaller version here. Give it all the sides so it's nice and smooth. Get that view on the right. Bring it over, and I'm going to just bring it to there and then bring it down to about the halfway point and kind of just line it up. I'm snapping by too big a spot here. All right, I'm gonna look for those pictures on Blue Sky, Bobby. I'm psyched to see because I know you got some cool monster truck stuff, so I'm excited. All right, so we got that one there. I'm gonna go ahead and whoa, go ahead and drag it so it goes all the way across. That's looking good. And in fact, I wonder, yeah, I'm gonna stretch it out a little bit. Give it a little bit of a different shape. That's very mid-century modern sort of shape there. I don't mind that. And then I'm going to go ahead and Command D. Guys, this design is so simple. to make look the way I want it to look. That's the easy part here. All right, now I'm just gonna, oh, that's gonna take forever. Not gonna do it that way. Let's get the view that I want. Bring it on over and bring it just past that center. Command D. I'm gonna do the same thing over here, just past center. I'm gonna pick both, move them back so they go all the way through the model. Oh, you know what? Center's not where I want it. Oh, tricky. Okay. Ah, interesting. All right, I'm actually going to bring it till that's, yeah, right at the contact point is where I want that center. Yeah, that's where we want it. All right. Copy, do the same over here. And now I think we're going to be just about to the design that I want. But let's go ahead. We're going to group all of those pieces. Yeah, that's looking how I want it. I do want to soften that bottom edge a little maybe, but actually, you know what? I don't really have a problem with how that looks. I think that's kind of cool. All right, so that's going to be one shelf just about done. All I have to do now is give it its connection points that are going to go up on the wall, the parts that are actually going to hold it in place. So for that, I'm dropping another box here. We're going to get a right side view. I'm going to zoom way in on it. We're just going to make it flush. We want it exactly flush. Okay, that's looking good. I can zoom out a bit. We're going to bring it up. And now I need to take one of the screws that I'm going to use to hold it into the wall. And I just want to measure, I need the radius of the head of the screw. And then I need the radius of the actual thread pieces. And I'm going to quickly jot these down so that I don't need to keep referencing back. Okay, so the threaded portion is about 2 millimeters. We're going to call that 2 millimeters. And then the head is 3.5. Okay. Round that up to like a 2.5 millimeter. Good. Thank you, Bobby. I appreciate it. Let me see, make sure it's not something I need. Make sure it's not something I'm gonna miss. Let's see here. Here's what I got. Oh wow. Dude, you got a great little haul here. Oh, I've got some follow-up questions here because these are some great toys. Okay, so some of them I think I'm recognizing some of this. Okay, you got the purely old school throwback grandma gravedigger. Very nice. I do have one of those myself, and it's one of the few that I haven't altered. I love altering my trucks when I get them. I left that one because it looks just how I wanted it. The Kingsling and the Bog Hog are killer. I believe that Gungster, that is from the more Dollar Tree series that they have of those toys, which I love. The simple molding that goes into those is really cool. I love those designs. I like the scale of those a little bit better too. And now I've got some questions. The VW Bug and the sort of the orange and dark green truck. Are those the adventure what's that series called? Yeah, what series are those? That's the big question that I have here. It's like, is that like Adventure Zone or something? They've got some weird name like that. Because I'm pretty sure I recognize those. Love the Xbox controller. Love the way that it looks like a Sega Genesis controller. That rules. All right. So I've got the measurements on the screws here. And then I want to take my calipers. I want to figure about how high up do I want this? How much space around it do I want? I think that's going to be pretty good. So somewhere right around 7 millimeters is what I'm looking at. They're the ones you have to build. Oh, that's cool. I like that. All right, so let's get this. We're gonna make this about 10 millimeters tall by let's call it 7. We'll call it 8 millimeters wide, or I guess that's depth. Depth, I want to go. Where's the screw here? Very organized build here. Depth, I probably only want to go like, ooh, not even 4. Let's call it 3 millimeters. Yeah, we're gonna call that 3. Yeah, is that gonna be good? Yeah, I think that's good. All right, cool. All right, 3, and then for the this other direction, we had sort of said thinking like 8 is probably good. All right, now I do want to radius this just a little. Again, I want to keep that soft look going. Now I'm going to get a dead on view on the right here, nice and up close, because I want to go about there with it. Pan out. Yeah, that's looking good. All right. Now we can go ahead and add the screw hole, and then I want a little inset. I did see the USA one. I have the same one. It's downstairs in my collection. I love the Kings of Crunch series. They're so beautiful. Very true to the original looks. I love that. All right, so we need one through hole that's going to be a 2.5 millimeter, and then we're going to do a much smaller inset for the head of the screw here. So I'm going to make that 2.5. Going to make this 2.5. Going to turn the whole thing 90 degrees. And we're just going to find our way to the piece here. Get to the front. And in comparison with everything else, I want it right about there. And then it needs to be mostly centered. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be good enough that it looks centered. All right, that's looking good. Okay, feel like that's we're good to group that. So I'm going to go ahead and group that one. And now I need a slightly smaller inset hole for the head. We'll call it, yeah, like 2 millimeter deep, 1.5 millimeter deep, something like that. And then it's going to be a 3.5 millimeter hole. All right. So we're going to bring this guy in, bring the sides way up. And once again, we're going to make this 3.5. We're going to make this 3.5. Yeah, yo, the grandma digger truck is very heavy. I love it. It feels so substantial, which is just how it should feel, because the trucks were heavier in that era. It actually translates really well to the toy. All right, we're gonna pop, 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 bring it on up till it's somewhere, yeah, there-ish. Now we're gonna go to the front. Gonna zoom way in on the piece we need. And now let's center it. We're going to bring it up, center it again. And now I want to bring it back so it just goes in, but not all the way through. Let's get a full right side view on that. How deep did I make it? Let's make it just over the depth that I want. And the depth that I want, if I take a look at this, we're looking pretty good if it's like a 1.5. So I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give this like a 1.6 depth. And that'll let me just kind of, yeah, somewhere right around there is gonna be good. So now I'm gonna group that. Boom, and now we have an inset for the screw. We've got the hole the screw can go through. And now we just need to attach it and make a duplicate. So let's get a nice front side view. I'll hold the shift key so it doesn't go anywhere I don't want it. We're going to call it right about there. Hit Control D. Holding shift, I'm going to bring it, call it right about there. Make sure we're good. Make sure they're not sticking out the back. I think that looks really nice. All right. Get my top view for easy clicking. We're going to group that. Okay, I think that looks nice. Good. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take both, hit Control D, move the whole mess over, out of the way there. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this, group it, move it over here, and take this one. Need to get that front view. Get that kind of, yeah, that's where I want. Bring this over until this looks about right on this side so that we've sort of created a mirror. Hit group there. And that should do it. That should be my two shelves for each side. Um, and now it's going to be as simple as exporting each of these as their own piece, naming them right and left, or even just one and two, because I only need one of each one. I'm going to run them off on the printer. And yeah, I'll be able to have the tram up displayed on a nice end result that's going to look good next to the other shelf. It's going to be very similar size, similar shape. I think this came out pretty great. All right. Well, and we're gonna call that. I'm gonna turn these kind of like a very light gray so that they look white, like they're gonna be on the final product. Let's back this up a little just for the sake of the thumbnail, because I am gonna grab a thumbnail here. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, let's go about there. Is there a better view? Let's see. What's really stylistic for a YouTube thumbnail? Yeah, that ought to work. Great. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me for this very brief and impromptu Christmas Day stream. I've modeled up what I need here. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take these files. I'm going to start running them off on the printer downstairs. And, probably by this time tomorrow, I should be good to wow, yeah, that looks cool. I should be good to display my tram. But yeah, I think eventually I'm going to take this clip from the live stream here. I'm going to work it all into one longer video, kind of showing the process of what I'm doing here. And yeah, might end up being a cool little YouTube video. But in the meantime, Bobby Graves and Joey, I saw all three of you in the chat. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out on Christmas Day with me. Have a Merry Christmas. Have yourself a great rest of your day. And I will talk to you all again soon.